Blessed be the name of the Lord. This is Pastor Michael from God is Enough Ministry. This morning, I would like to share with you the book of Jonah chapter 1, verse 1 to 17. And the topic is the reluctant preacher. The reluctant preacher. Before we go into the word, do please join me on YouTube through Pastor Mike TV and do please subscribe. The word of the Lord came to Jonah, the son of Amittai. Go to the great city of Nineveh and preach against her wickedness, for it has come up before me. Nineveh and her wickedness existed long time during the time of Nimrod. In the book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 11 to 12. God has enough of their wickedness and wants them to do what? To repent. Or be what? Be destroyed. Repent or be destroyed by bringing his judgment upon Nineveh. Why? For God is in the business or saving business of restoration. God is not in the business of killing. Therefore, he wants them to repent. But Jonah, the reluctant preacher, ran away from the Lord and went aboard a ship and headed for what? Headed for Tarshish, forgetting that you can run, but you can't hide. Jonah disobeyed God and became the reluctant preacher. It is a privilege that you are chosen to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ in this present age. The moral fiber of our society at large has been what? Has been weakened by a flood of what? Of immorality, wickedness, greed, and disobedience to God's calling. Do realize that you can not gain anything by running away from God. The day you resist God's will, you've prepared for your what? For your doom. And you go down fast. Yes, you can resist the devil. Why? Because the devil will flee from you. But you can't resist God. Why? Because you cannot flee from God, no matter how you try. Jonah disobeyed God and tried to flee from God because of what? He wanted God's judgment to rain down upon Nineveh for their wickedness and atrocities. Well, in verse 17, God appointed a great fish to swallow him up for 3 days and 3 nights. God shows Jonah his sovereignty. The word in verse 17 says God appointed, not that God created a new fish or another fish, but God appointed an already created fish to swallow him up. That is to say, what God has already created obeyed God. Better than who? Than Jonah. Jonah felt death coming in the belly of the whale. So he vowed to the Lord to fulfill God's will and to proclaim that salvation only comes from the Lord. You see, sometimes When you see fire, that's when your senses comes right back to you. Now Jonah is ready to obey God. The Lord commanded the fish to vomit Jonah. The Lord commanded the fish, and it vomited Jonah on a dry land. This you can also read in chapter 2 of Jonah, verse 9 to 10. Note that the fish obeyed God better than Jonah. Therefore, if we fail to worship and obey God, like the Pharisees and the Sadducees, whom John the Baptist called the brood of vipers, God is able to replace us. God is able to raise up stones to worship him. So do not think highly of yourself. Brethren, the question now is, are you a reluctant preacher? Are you a reluctant preacher? Well, I will stop right here so far for now, until next time when we shall meet again. But do please remember that God is absolutely enough for you, and do please stay blessed.